Welcome to White Coat Wednesday. I'm Kali Juracek, one of the current fourth years at the University of Queensland Ochsner Clinical School, and I'm joined by my friend Taylor Ogden, also a fourth year. Today's topic is going to be the 2024 Postdoctoral Research Fellowship, and Taylor is one of the recipients of this year's award. So first off, congratulations, Taylor.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Kali. I'm Taylor Ogden. I'm a fourth year Ochsner student. I am applying to obstetrics and gynecology residency this cycle. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. Spent some time on the central coast of California, and I completed my undergraduate degree at the University of Southern California.
Thank you for that introduction, Taylor. So going back, when did you decide you wanted to pursue medicine, and what made you choose to study medicine at UQ-Ochsner specifically?
That's a great question. I've wanted to do medicine since I was little. I just always loved the idea of being able to help people in a very meaningful way. And when I heard about the UQ-Ochsner program, it sounded like such a unique experience to get to study in another country, learn about a whole different system of medicine, and kind of have an amazing adventure over in Australia, while still getting a great education both in Australia and in New Orleans.
Yeah. I'm so happy you decided to enroll in our school. You've been a great peer to have. What sparked your interest in research, and how easy was it to incorporate research with your clinical obligations as a student?
I honestly never really saw myself as someone that would get into research, but then kind of recently there was a clinical question that I was very curious about, and there wasn't a lot out there about it, and I found myself wanting to kind of pursue that and get into research. And here at Ochsner, there's a lot of resources to do that. I think a lot of the staff is very enthusiastic about getting into research, and there's plenty of resources available if you know where to look.
So before we dive into talking specifically about your research, can you tell us a bit more about what the Postdoctoral Research Fellowship is?
Yes, definitely. So this fellowship is awarded to 5 to 7 UQ-Ochsner graduates each year, and it gives us the opportunity to do a project with a physician investigator at Ochsner during our time between graduation in November and starting residency in July.
It's an awesome opportunity, especially to fill that time period, which is simultaneously short but also long when you think about it. So it's a great experience. Can you give us an overview of your project?
Absolutely. So at the beginning of this year, at our fourth year orientation, we actually learned a lot about health disparities here in Louisiana and in New Orleans. And one of the ones that really stood out to me was that there's a very high rate of HIV infection in Louisiana, and about a quarter of those new cases are in women. But at the same time, there's a very low percent of women who are prescribed pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, which can help prevent HIV infection. So my project is kind of aiming to understand the population at Ochsner that does currently have HIV, and then using that data, we hope to kind of understand how PrEP could be utilized in clinics to prevent HIV infection in women.
Sounds like a very interesting project, Taylor. I'm really excited to hear about your research and all your findings during a research week. So what are your next steps?
So after graduating in November and entering the match in hope of becoming an OBGYN, I'll be working on this project with Dr. Denton and presenting it at Research Day in April.
And do you feel that your studies at UQ-Ochsner and your research experience thus far, as well as your research experience to come, have prepared you for success in the future?
Yes, absolutely. I think training across 2 countries at 2 really amazing institutions has given me a lot of resources and skills to go forward into residency and be confident in conducting research, and hopefully just be a great resident and clinician in the future.
Yeah, no doubt you will be. Thank you for joining us for this episode of White Coat Wednesday, and thank you to Taylor, or the very soon-to-be Dr. Taylor Ogden, for joining us to tell us about the postdoctoral research fellowship and about your research project. Again, I'm Kaylee, and we'll see you next time.